Hello everyone, now we are going to actually get on to adding tone to our tropical fish. So, as you can see, I've got mine in front of me with all of the detail. I have edited these parts because I did have a look at the image and that it was a bit different, so I did edit it. I would recommend clicking on the link first and opening up the picture of your fish with the tone added, so as it would be completed, as then you can see where you're supposed to be adding the tone. I've got my HB, to add my dark tones. I'm going to use it with a HB because I think more of you are going to have a HB pencil at home than you are going to have shading pencils at home. But again, like I said, if you do have shading pencils at home, feel free to use these, as that's what we would use at school. But I understand with everything going on at the moment, most people are going to have just a normal pencil. So that's what I'm going to use to shade today. I am going to have a look at the picture of the fish, which is on my computer to the left hand side here. And I'm going to have a look where the darkest areas are. And that's what we're going to add to our fish. So, its eye area here, it has a part of a little reflection on its eye. And then the rest of it is really dark. So, I'm going to start adding lots of pressure. And I'm going to start shading that part in like so. There we go. That's one of the darker areas there. These areas here, like the stripes, they're quite dark, but they're not as dark as the eyeball area. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start shading. Again, make sure your pencil is nice and sharp, otherwise you're going to find this quite difficult. And then I'm going to start shading in. I'm not pressing as hard as I have done with the eye. Because again, if you make it too dark, it's very hard to rub away. But if you make it too light, you can just add another layer on the top. So that's fine. So that bit there is quite dark. And then you have a little tiny bit around its mouth area. Here, it's like a little wiggly line. That is also quite dark. So I'm just going to shade that in. There we go. So you are applying pressure, but you're not pressing so hard that the whole area is black. Because if you're looking at the fish, which I've got over here, you'll be able to see it's not as dark as if you pressed really, really hard. If you also have your dark and light shading in front of you, you can also see how much pressure you used before. That also helps. So it's got another bit here that's quite dark. And I'm not going to do the whole fish, otherwise this video is going to be very, very long. But I'm just showing you what I would do. So I would go around and add my dark tones first to all of my fish. So every single part of the area that are dark. Okay, so where this scale part is here, that's where I'm going to add it dark as well. There are also some areas that go up into its tail and some of the areas up here, but only part of it is dark and some of it is quite light. So what I would recommend doing here is, again, I would have a look where the dark area is. And then you can start shading it in. Don't worry if you lose the lines, because we can go back over the lines when our shading's done. Okay, so I'm just adding the dark area in where it looks like it needs to go on the photo. So what I would like you to do is add the whole dark area in all over your whole entire fish before we move on to the next video.